Just 1 week from today, students in OKC, Edmond, Moore, and several other metro districts will head back to class.
Sorry, kids, summer break's just about to be over.
Back to school didn't start with the first bell. It started the day your mom said, "We're going school shopping." Did you hear those ladies in the intro? Adults always just seem so smug about this. My parents went to lunch every year on the first day of school, I guess just to celebrate the first day of taxpayer-sponsored daycare. That's hard to blame them. All right, we're going to cover the dreaded school supply list. And I've got a question for the females in this one. We got our buddy Jason Dean with us today, and we're going to dive right in it. Let's go. Jason Dean, welcome in.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Hey, we're in the, we got the ashes of last week's here. Did we bite off more than we could chew? That is a lot of subject matter to cover.
It was, some would say too much, perhaps.
Well, it was so overwhelming, we almost did nothing. So,
but a lot of
that's
it.
Fine.
So it's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
I did get a comment, actually on our YouTube video of the episode.
Yeah.
This guy said the country was elated in 1984. Ronald Reagan won because Republicans and Democrats united to vote for him. The movies, the toys were just incredible in 1984.
Yeah.
What a year. So much better than 2026. Literally no comparison.
Like, where was he at last week?
I should have just had him on the podcast and we could have taken off.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of good comments. I did get a comment. I think it was from North Carolina. I sent it to you during the week.
You did.
It simply said, dude has never seen an Indiana Jones movie, comma, telling me about the 80s. Okay.
I tried. I tried. I didn't do a great job, so maybe he's got a point. I don't know.
Not a terrible point all around.
No. I'll accept it.
We're back. This is the back to school episode.
Yes.
Something every kid has white knuckled through. Man, there is nothing worse than just hearing people start talking rumblings. When you're a kid, you're in the middle of just going wild, running around, and then somebody mentions back to school. What are you talking about?
I know.
You know what? Just started.
We changed bedtimes last night. Back to it. Yeah. You want to get some fight out of a 13-year-old? Change his bedtime from whenever to 9:30. So
right.
He's just ready to pick it. The kid's ready to start an uprising. So
I don't blame him. So there was a cultural stick, like sword in the ground from I think it's Office Depot.
Okay.
Or it's one of the staples. I think it's Office Depot. Anyway, remember My Name is Earl, the show?
Of course. I love it.
Crabman was in these commercials before that show.
My neighbor across the street and down one house looks just like him. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but
that adds nothing to this.
Absolutely. I only could take away, but here I am. Sorry about that. Proceed, sir.
Anyway, he's in a commercial and it plays Rubber Band Man as the music for the commercial. And he's walking around beaches handing out school supplies on like from the mailroom. He's pushing a cart.
Yeah.
And he hands a kid a T-square that's holding a bat, like in the batter's box.
Okay.
Kid spinning a basketball in his finger. He knocks it out of his hand and hands him a globe and spins it. All these kids have this look like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great commercial, worth looking up. That's what it's like, man. It is just this heaviness. Or I've read from psychopaths that said they loved it. It was the best time of the year to get to go buy school supplies, if you can imagine.
It's funny because I have 5 of school age still here in the home, and we poll them, and I have got 40% excited to head back and 60% nope.
What do you live in a shoe?
We do. One of my kids is just so excited about the social aspect. He's starting junior high this year, and he's wound out about that.
Oh, man, the stores transformed overnight. 1 week that you walk in the store, it's beach balls and barbecue charcoal. And the next week, it is mountains of spiral notebooks, number 2 pencils. It was just, you knew it was over.
Yep.
So how do they do it now? Moms would tear it out of the paper and walk it up and down the same aisles with the same list, but everybody's cart was a lot different.
Yeah. Well, now the schools can actually go to like Amazon, I don't know if ours did that this year, but they can upload the school supply list to Amazon. You can go on there and click it and put everything in your cart, or Target will have it, and you can go in there, add stuff to your cart on there too. And then they'll pull it for you, and then you just go in there and pick it up. It's wildly different the way we shop for them now.
All right. Well, this is my book fair story then. You poor mouthed it about how terrible book fairs were for you. Here's the deal with me. Mary Herndon did not blow the budget on school supplies.
Okay.
First of all, the kids that would get the crayons that had the sharpener on the back?
Oh, the 64 count?
What do you mean? Like did you have that?
We did get them one year. Yeah.
Oh, we now
like, hey, well, what color are you going to color that? Blue. Oh, I was thinking about going periwinkle, autumn sunrise.
Well, for one thing, I think my dad's influence was here, and he's really right. I'm colorblind, and so every color's green to that kid. Just get him, doesn't matter, and it didn't. One year, I got those rose art crayons that just wrote like chapstick and never left any color on the paper.
Yeah.
Because mom saved 6 cents.
Yes, she did. And, also the Crayola ones would be like non-toxic, and the rose art ones, like, you probably shouldn't eat these. Right? That's the rose art stuff right there.
Yeah. Kids have an incredible ability to build an entire caste system out of office supplies we showed up with.
Yeah.
It's true. Everybody listening will remember exactly where they ranked. I was not very high. I never owned a Trapper Keeper. They never bought me one.
Did they hate you?
Probably.
You're the third kid. Well, you know what I mean? You're lucky to get, oh well.
I can't believe I didn't get my brother's hand-me-downs, like the early 70s A's folders and...
Yeah, half sharpened pencils.
Yeah, Daktari book covers. And thanks, Phil. But yeah, it was terrible. I didn't have enough energy about going back to school to even go some years, which on the shopping list for the 6th grade, mom came home with everything I didn't want to go. Yeah. And she got just the crappiest folders. And I think she looked for the worst lunchbox. My buddies got A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
I had a buddy with an old Evel Knievel lunchbox like it was his brother's. I got Heathcliff, the second-rate orange cat, not even Garfield. So I'm showing up at school with my crummy sandwich and a freaking Heathcliff lunchbox. All my buddies just kind of smirked out like, what are you doing? Wait, it's not like food pantry stuff? What is that? A lot of them didn't even know who that was. Okay.
Yeah, we knew who it wasn't, and that was Garfield.
Right. And I think it probably went the day before when, it was either that or strawberry shortcake. So I guess I'm kind of lucky that they had one. Yeah.
Now these kids have insulated bags, and you put a cold sandwich in there, it's still cold at lunch. What were our parents doing with metal lunchboxes? They're trying to build every bit of bacteria they possibly could before we ate it.
Yeah,
amazing.
But sometimes, you eat at school, you don't have to wag the lunchbox. But
yeah,
man, every list that we had, there was always that one bizarre item on there, like a green 2-pocket folder with brads. It's got to have brads.
Yeah.
And so that's the one put mom over the edge.
So she has you and your sister. So I get that. Dude, we're 5 here. We pulled the receipts from last year's Target. We did the Target thing where you just go online and they pull it all for you. And $572 last year. That's no backpacks and no back to school clothes.
If you grew up when we did, chances are your best memories are sitting on a VHS tape somewhere. Birthday parties, family reunions, even that first camcorder Christmas morning. But those tapes don't last forever. That's where the Digitized Center comes in. They convert your old VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, reel-to-reels, photos, slides, smoke signals into high-quality digital files, so you can actually watch them again and again and share them with the people who matter. Don't let those moments fade away in a box in the attic. Not the people, the milestones, not the memories. Head over to thedigitizedcenter.com, check out thousands of 5-star reviews, and make the call to preserve your story. Use promo code FREENIGHTS for 60% off your order. That's FREENIGHTS for 60% off. Bring those memories back to life before they're gone for good.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
That's kind of what I said.
That's no clothes. That's just crap to wag to school.
It is. And there's some of that suspect stuff like you're talking about in there with the weird. You know, the one thing that always blew my mind? You remember the metal compass?
Yeah. I never understood. First of all, nobody ever used it.
No.
You make great circles in art class.
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah, and somebody's going to draw blood at one point with that point.
But they couldn't have that now. These kids are out of control. Somebody'd be dead with those things. I mean, they were sharp as all get out. They were a weapon. But that and protractors. I remember we never pulled a protractor out. Never
Not
pulled
once.
out that compass. No.
Yeah, we always had it. You ever stuck a compass
Hold on.
in the ceiling? In the ceiling
Oh,
tile?
in the ceiling. No. No, I have not. Wait, I didn't know where this was going. But no, I have not.
What have you heard?
You can't prove anything. But we got rid of those Polaroids. But no, we have not. I'm sure I would have had a heart attack. I was a pretty obedient kid. Destruction of property, I would have been killed. But did they stick in the ceiling?
Oh yeah, like a dart.
But when it comes down, what happens? Run?
You don't worry about it. It's like the last week of school. You just leave it up there. I don't care.
Okay. All right. I thought it was like that game where those kids shoot an arrow straight up in the air and the last one to run to seek cover loses. But anyway, that seems like a dangerous idea. Like yard darts or something, throwing them up in the air. But
the only thing about that lunchbox is that there was this, how to say this? There was a kid, there was a Section 8 kid in class.
Okay.
Who had a lunchbox with a superhero I had never heard of, and I don't think anybody else had ever heard of.
Oh, wow.
And so and even the superhero kind of had like a little pot belly. It's like, what is that? I think it might have been like a Mexican superhero with one of those wrestling masks or something.
Yeah.
I remember that kid was really kind of cool, real quiet, and
I
didn't mind his lunchbox. I would have traded him.
Yeah, you would. That's not saying anything. We talked in the book fair episode about recognizing at some point that there is a caste system when we get those grades, and lunchboxes were it. I mean, you can't carry that crap in there. I lobbied once for a Snoopy lunchbox. It was plastic, but it had a cool plastic thermos, and I was really just getting it for the thermos. My mom said, that's not going to last, and it lasted about a week. She was right the whole time, but...
Oh, my God.
I know. What's worse than that? But
so how long until all right, this is the year I stay organized. How long did that last?
Oh, man, you rock a Trapper Keeper with 5, I've got this folder for this class, this folder.
I don't know.
About
what
a week.
like.
You just have to trust me. But about a week, right? Maybe 2 weeks if you were feeling yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then it's just back to shoving crap in a bag somewhere.
Who you are is who you are. Like your pencil box becomes a junk drawer like in a kitchen. Like,
that's right.
Within a month, the mechanical pencils.
There's a mustard packets and weird Duck cables sauce. And an AC/DC adapter. Like, what are we doing here? But you're right.
Yeah. But in the very beginning, you open the fresh box of crayons, those that got crayons. And it has that waxy kind of smell to it. It's real crisp, man. When you open it, every stroke, you're knocking off that point.
Every kid can smell that new crayon smell.
Yeah.
To this day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's a great time. It's anticipation. Do you remember going up to the school like a few days before to see who all was going to be in your class?
Oh, yeah.
When they hung the lists in the window?
Yes. You're just looking for a buddy.
Yeah, praying for a buddy. Yeah.
I remember one year, every name seemed like it ended in a vowel. Like the whole class with chicks. And I was like, we can't play football at recess. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. That changed when you hit junior high, I'm sure. But in elementary school, that's just the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. Like, and I know that probably has something to do with the Heathcliff lunchbox. Oh, this kid, just put him over there. I don't care.
The portables. Remember, more schools were growing so rapidly that every school had like portable buildings outside of it.
Yeah, they called them temporary, and they're still there right now.
They were like, put the Herndon kid, get him out there a little bit, put him in the parking lot, the portable.
We don't have a teacher there yet. Okay, that's fine. just have a chair in there.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, sitting there by himself, pointing him out the window.
Do you
But
remember the
yeah,
chick in every elementary school class that had erasers and had pencils and always had everything? And and she it was like currency. Like, you do favors for them and stuff, like, to get them.
yeah,
There was always one that had it together, like, had that organization in the last week of school.
and or had something super cool like you didn't even dream that was a real thing. Like I remember one year, kids had scented markers with
Right.
like the red smell like strawberry. I'm like, what world do you live in where this is even on your parents' radar?
Yeah, I remember
So
those. I also remember, couple of dudes in my elementary school class that just sniffed the regular markers. They were fine.
absolutely.
It's all part of the caste system that you talked about. What clothes you're wearing or whatever, we'll get to that in a minute. But remember the first day when you see old buddies and I've had somewhere in elementary school, like, they're trying the new them that year.
Oh, yes.
Ugh,
Like all of a sudden your buddy's wearing a cowboy hat.
right.
And you're like, well, okay. But you're right.
We were talking about one of those we went to high school with.
We did talk about a person who went to high
Yeah.
school. You're like, so okay, so now and it got a little different, worse when you're in high school. But yeah, all of a sudden, oh, okay, this is the new you. That's great. It was, Peter Brady, pork chops and applesauce. Everybody
Yeah,
trying
but
to step it up.
the guy we were talking about in high school developed an accent and hobbies that okay. Like,
Yeah.
you're from the same suburb as us. I don't know why you're talking like your parents are cousins.
I've known you since we were 5 years old, but here we go. So you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And everybody kind of politely just, well, all
Okay.
right.
Yeah. And then
When
a
I
few other
worked
weirdos glommed onto it. Well, that's who I am
Yeah.
now too. So okay.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Whatever, dude.
Yeah. But everybody was doing that. It's funny. You got guys that you grew up with that were straight laced and the stoners now, or cowboys, or just whatever. So yeah, it's interesting to watch the evolution of people. I love it.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I
It
don't know.
makes
I
me
don't know that I love it.
it makes me smile. It cracks me up seeing somebody trying to find out who they are. It's a great thing.
Yeah. That's okay. I guess so. Whatever.
Or find out who somebody else is that they like so they can be like them. That's the weird, sad part. But anyway.
So let's go back to the social status. I'm going to ask you about clothes here in a minute, but
Yeah.
did girls have the scarlet letter of tough skins? Is there a female version
Oh my
of having to
gosh.
show up in Sears jeans?
I don't know if there is. If there were,
I don't think there is.
we weren't paying attention to it, but because we were so involved in what we had going. But you're right. You're right. You're like, I remember having the conversation. You can't do this to me. They'll kill me there.
And more important, they won't kill me. They'll just ignore me. Like,
Yeah.
Mom, I'm already a fat kid with a cartoon cat lunchbox. Can we talk about perhaps not dressing me in tough skins?
You weren't worried about them not ignoring you. You were worried about them not ignoring you, is what that is. I
At
don't
that
want them
point,
to notice me. Do not notice Heathcliff.
with my chapstick crayons, and there's always the kid that shows up with like a used box of like
Yeah.
5 rounded orange crayons, like from
Yeah.
a garage sale. Like, they're all orange. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I wasn't that, but I may as well have been.
Yeah. But I don't think the girls had to endure what we had to. So
Well, so that's a legitimate question. Is there a female version of tough skins?
yeah, gals, we need to hear it because we were oblivious. We were fighting our own battles. So if you had something going on, let us
is
know.
there something you show up that your social circle said, wow, your mom hates you?
I
I don't know.
Without your mom actually telling you that. If that happened,
Right.
please, we don't want to hear that. But anyway,
You know what the highlight of clothes shopping for me was before school?
what?
Going to Anthony's and watching them to use that pneumatic tube that said when something left.
Right
I
up
love
in
that thing. Yeah.
I can only imagine that there's like people from Oz are up there in the ceiling. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole other country of these little, or Oompa Loompas are up on the ceiling of Anthony's just retrieving things. And
I know that when the salespeople left every once in a while, I might have put some paper clips or some pens in that tube before.
hear them rattling around.
Yeah, and you would hear they would take off like they were going up in a big canister vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if somebody got shot in the neck with a paperclip or something upstairs.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
I just always wonder where the heck does it go?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't. Yeah, there's just it's a mystery to me to this day. So
I
anyway,
want a set like that at the house where you just put trash, like crumpled up paper, stick it in the tube. Where does it go? I don't know.
Hear it go right into the trash can at 150 miles an hour. Yeah.
So yeah, that was the coolest thing. We get shoes there, I think, and clothes. Anthony's. It's for the uninitiated, that is a now defunct, very, very regional department store.
It was.
It was based in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I remember a distinct issue with my brother one year, and he was joining the basketball team. Now this was in elementary school. They had him at the community center. It was before you were available to play at the junior highs, and I remember my parents hooking him up with some Converse Chuck Taylors to
Nice.
start basketball with, like he was on, Gene Hackman was his coach, but
Right.
yeah. Anyway, and I just remember my brother just being beside himself with that, which we've talked about this recently, that not looking back now, that not being a big deal, but it was, my parents like, you're signing up for this, you took us on a whim. And we're just going to buy the cheapest shoes we can to see if you'll even stick with it. Which he ended up being a fantastic basketball player. But I just remember the turmoil in the house that created. You can't send me out like this.
Poor guy, man. Jeff Dean was too cool for that. Like,
he
honestly,
was.
I'll say it out loud. Yeah, that dude was just center of a cucumber seed cool.
That's
all
exactly
the time.
right. Always. So
I think he could pull that off. Like, they became the shoe of the nerds. That's not a nice way to say that.
He might have been who brought him back. You know what I mean? The amount of people went, hey, Jeff's wearing those. We probably ought to go get a couple.
I just know that every honors class I had in high school was full of those Chuck Taylors. So
yeah, because they were kind of the anti-athlete shoe, I would think. I don't know.
So your parents got them for your athletic
for
brother.
Jeff. But anyway, that was did y'all do back to school shoe shopping? Did you look forward to an actual item?
Dude, no. Back to school shoe shopping was the worst. First of all, mom would lean down always and just chase your big toe around to see if you had room to grow.
Yeah.
I hated going underwear shopping with her.
How long was her thumb? But anyway, that poor gal. But we loved back then. I remember it was a big deal for us to go once we hit the early 80s, after the oil bust had kind of healed up a little bit, the mid 80s. Our parents would let us get some pretty cool shoes, and I remember that was our highlight, was going to get, in 85, my brother and I were the first two guys I knew to have Air Jordan shoes, and we rocked those to school. So
in 85, I turned down Jordans.
Did you really?
For the blue, or pardon me, the red and white Spud Webb Pumas, or not Pumas, ponies.
Oh, those were great. Those were
Spud Webb
awesome.
ponies, man. He was a hawk, and I'm not wearing Dominique Wilkins Brooks because I'm already going to get my ass beat for my tough skins.
But it was a big deal. That shoes were as big a status symbol as anything.
Yeah.
I remember Pro Wings, which a now defunct Payless shoe source.
Oh my God.
That was you talk about a scarlet letter.
Yeah, that's a great one. You get Pro Wings with some tough skins.
Yeah. Oh my word.
See, they were like middle tiers, like fastbacks at Anthony's. Those were like a middle tier. If you were a dork, they were dork shoes, but if you weren't, they were fine.
Yeah. And you know what's, now that we're adults, kids don't buy their own clothes. I have such compassion now because that kid didn't do that.
Right.
His family is treading water and they're doing all they can to put food on the table, and kids are just mean. Good grief.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree. You sound like somebody that had an older brother and some Chuck Taylors.
I did. I remember feeling bad for him, which you're not supposed to do for your older brother. But
I remember walking down to school, Apple Creek, when I lived at the south side of Moore, the house we moved in when we first moved to Oklahoma. And Dad walked with me to the school, and they built it in the field that he and I used to take our shotguns out to and shoot starlings.
Oh, wow.
Now I had a school in it because we were one of the first houses in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so we're walking around and there's a door open and I see cut out Spider-Man on the wall. And Dad said, let's go see what that is. And I don't want to, Dad. That's for little kids.
Yeah.
I was in the third grade. I walked in there. It was my third grade teacher.
Really?
That was my classroom and I got to meet who became my
cool.
favorite teacher ever.
That's so cool. Teachers.
Yeah, she was the best.
Yeah, that was the good when you got a good teacher. Oh my word! And I remember having a brother that was just 1 year older than me. I already knew who everybody was teacher wise, and my mom was on the PTA and up there all the time. And I just remember when you got the draw of the good teacher, how wonderful that was.
Do you remember middle school and that first day of class? You get your schedule, and you don't know where anything is.
Yes,
so lost.
It's just chaos, and But and I'm working a locker. I've never had a lock on anything before.
Right.
I mean, now they don't do any of that. There's no lockers. Everything's in a backpack. There are no books. Everybody gets a Chromebook now. So it's, the locker, that whole anxiety is over with. So I'm surprised they don't put a chip in them that they GPS them to each class. But anyway.
Do they still issue lockers in high school?
No, because kids don't act right, which we didn't either, but now they know kids don't act right.
Oh, my God.
Which, by the way, dude, I remember in high school, there was a couple right next to me. Anyway, they would just make out all the time. It was the worst locker I ever had. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I'm late to class, and my buddy go, were the butt rubbers there? I'm like, yes, they wouldn't even let me in my own locker. They're just sitting there. Anyway, everybody in my whatever hour that was knew what this couple was, and I'm like, golly, don't get out of the way of my locker.
Well, that is the worst.
I still remember I was locker number 119, and the combination was 11-27-3 at Highland East Junior High. I know, because I had to cram that into my head because I was just so neurotic about learning how to work that thing. But anyway.
It's time, Jason. It's time to let that one go.
I guess. But I'm still pretty neurotic, but I'm just not about that anymore. But yeah, I probably ought to let that one go and replace it with a memory that's necessary for earning money or taking care of my family. But anyway, yeah.
You learn real fast when you start changing classes midday and you don't have a homeroom. You do, but it's just like one of the hours that they assign that, how fast so when you're a kid in elementary school, every day is the exact same. It's the same kids every day in your classroom.
Yeah.
But it was real grab bag. You grew up really quick because it's a completely different scene in every class.
Yeah. And you end up following the herd. We know, here's what you eat. If you got lunch tickets or ate in the cafeteria without packing your lunch in your elementary school, you just ate what everybody else did. We had choices in junior high. And I'll never forget ordering nachos in the student store made with Cheetos, because you're just like, it's a Wild West here. These people will make whatever you want. It was incredible.
Yeah.
If I want to spend my whole $1.50 on 8 packs of Mentos, and that's all I'm eating for lunch, I can do it because nobody here calls me out on anything. It was crazy.
I only went to the student store when there was a need for NFL pencils.
Yeah, those were great. Well, that's where you got like ballpark food. They'd heat you up, hot dogs and crap like that out there. But that and a Slurpee machine. We had a slush puppy machine at Highland East, and I just remember going, "What is this? Where are we?" It was and those donuts. Do you remember the donuts for breakfast in the morning?
Do I remember the 15-cent donuts?
Yes, 15 cents. Oh my word! It was the best of times.
We sound 800 years old.
We're close. But junior high, what a time, man. I remember being so incensed and arguing. Ocean Pacific were the clothing that everybody was wearing that year.
Yeah.
And I did get some. And I remember my parents, I'm sure they were looking, now looking at the pictures, they're probably like, you're so weird about the shirt you're wearing. Have you thought about combing your hair? Have you listened?
Here's the thing. Those clothing companies are just muscling for any kind of pug. Remember when Hobie came out, it's like, oh, that's like a poor guy's Ocean Pacific.
Yeah.
And then Hobie was cool. And then Panama Jack. And like it's just whatever the cool kids are wearing. I don't know how they decided it.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. It's probably the same people that shut down Bennigan's. There's just one guy just making the call on all these things of this is what will be cool. And I rarely.
Why are you trying to fire me up in the middle of this?
Get your blood sugar all on Twitter, but
miss that so much.
But I always wondered that too. And I never really knew what was cool till like the third or fourth day of school when I went, oh, everybody's doing this and I don't have any of those. So
I never knew it well anyway.
Yeah, which, I care deeply about it. But again, I probably should have run a comb through that hair before I was worried about the shirt I was wearing. So anyway.
What are you going to do? There in Oklahoma, there's a local joint up in a little college town north of where we grew up, Eskimo Joe's,
Yep.
and like every fifth shirt at school was either that one, and then later on it was Hard Rock. And so I've seen those Eskimo Joe shirts in movies. I've seen it like all over.
Yeah.
Like that was a big deal.
Yeah, those. I remember Corona shirts when we were we both went to the same middle school, and Corona shirts were a big deal one year, but they would send you home if it was the beer and not the beach. So,
well, everybody's great good buddy Scott Guidry got called to the principal's office for having a Corona shirt one day, and it was a Corona beer shirt. But he bought it at the flea market, so it was misspelled. So he got by on a technicality and got to wear a shirt.
Well done. I'm sure that's where I probably got mine too, but I remember Mr. Bell, our principal there. While I'm in line at the student store turning me around, do you know what cerveza is? And no, I'm just a stupid kid. And I absolutely knew what it was. And he's like, well, don't ever wear that shirt again. So that was that. But
Mr. Bell, you're 7 foot tall and you ride in an MG.
Yeah, he did. Just that windshield was doing no work. That head just sticking above the windshield.
He looked like a Shriner. He needed a fez.
He was the grape ape. He was sitting on top of it, pushing it with his knuckles.
He was so tall, and he was in an MG. Like, what do you do? You got to fold over to get in that.
Yeah, he wanted something he could put in his pocket.
He tooled around town in that thing.
Bugs in his teeth, head sticking all the way up above the windshield. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like Dino. You push his head through.
But he didn't send me. He didn't send me home that day. So good times.
Well, you pleaded ignorant, and it was obviously, it was an easy case to make.
Yeah, it was. I was believable. So, yeah. You're a jerk.
So, man, we covered the family ritual of going to the store. This pencil's so much better than this pencil. Looking back, it was a ritual. Parents spent money they probably didn't want to spend, giving their kids a fresh start. The parents back then, they tried their best. And look, we all made it. We all got out. We all had our Kleenex boxes.
We did. And it's funny. My wife and I were talking. We had my mom sent some Christmas decorations home that I made at school whenever I was, in the second grade. There's a Santa Claus I made, which one of these days I'll post it when I'm brave. But, more was founded by people fleeing the city, right? And, a little, they were, wanting to come down here and get out of the inner city or whatever. And do you remember we ended up with our own particular brand of busing in elementary schools? Do you remember the gifted and talented program?
I remember them.
Right. Every Tuesday, a bus pulls up, and I'm standing there with my propeller hat, my thumb in my belly. But where are you guys going? and they're like, well, the administration of the school has figured out that this group of children would learn much better if they're away from you for an afternoon.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So we're talking about
it were those. That was what was it? The search nerds.
The search people, the gifted and talented program.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, where are you guys going? We get to go do, this is a drafting pencil. I'm like, oh, I just get the normal kind. They come back and show you all the cool things they did. And they're like, I glued this macaroni to a paper.
And their field trip to Votech. And I'm like, yeah, we played 7-Up.
Yeah. So
hope to work for you one day, sir.
So here we are coming down here so that we did our own type of segregation, just sorry, idiots. You guys stay here and learn how to hammer a shingle into this plywood. And we're taking the other kids over here. So,
all right. We need the droolers over here.
Yeah. Jason, you go over there and see if you can bite your own ear. I'm like, okay. I just remember them leaving and thinking how cool it was. And like, hey, where are you guys going? To learn. Okay.
We're going to the Omniplex. Well, what's that?
I'm learning computer programming. I remember this kid learned to program, and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here. I'm over here sniffing dittos.
Yeah.
Remember sniffing dittos?
I remember that. They come back with their dot matrix print offs of a penguin.
Yeah.
I've been in the desk throwing my protractor up into the ceiling tile.
That's why they didn't take you. Like, this kid's a danger to himself and others. We can't have him harming a smart child. So
it's one of the reasons.
But the gifted and talented program, they still do that, by the way. I've got the.
Do they really?
They do. They'll pull you out.
I thought it would offend the dummies to do that.
It did. I've just talked about that for like 5 minutes.
I didn't think you were offended. I just thought you were resigned to your fate.
Accepting my spot. Yeah. Oh, man. Gifted and talented.
Yeah, this is what God hath wrought.
That's right. These are gifted and talented, Mr. Dean. You're 0 for 2 in either one of those categories. So,
right.
Oh, well.
Yeah. My defensive line coach used to call me. He'd say, Herndon, you're slow, but you're stupid. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Sir, the second one is supposed to be a compliment.
All right, Dean.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time, buddy. Talk to you later.
We knew who he wasn't, and that was Garfield.
The show's over, and I don't know what to do with myself till next Friday.
You could spend hours making your own free nights and weekends t-shirts and coffee mugs, but now there's a better way.
There's got to be a better way.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, I didn't know what that.
A quality industrial sewing machine could cost more than $20,000 probably. Would you pay $200 for a gorgeous free nights and weekends magnet?
I would.
Probably.
I guess.
Not with this special offer, you won't. Follow the FNAW swag link on this player, and you'll spend a fraction of that on quality FNAW merchandise you crave. No more downloading sketchy copies of design software. No more blacking out with rage, trying to get the typeset all lined up perfectly. We do all that. Follow the link for the finest t-shirts, mugs, koozies, and tumblers, and support the show. Operators are standing by.